All right, you all, good afternoon. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for EdTech Tuesdays with ATMs and Friends. Today's session is My Viewboard 2, the advanced features. So thank you all for joining. If you have someone who would like to join, it is not too late. My name is Pernell. I'm the Alabama Technology and Motion Specialist located at the University of Alabama at Birmingham, UAB. Go Lasers. That's my contact information right there. If you need to get in contact with me, I am somewhat on Twitter, X, Twix, whatever you like to call it, and that's my handle for that. The universities to the left are where the other ATEM specialists and regional in-service centers are across the state. Region 5 serves the following LEAs. That includes Alabama Aerospace and Aviation, Bessemer, Birmingham, Empower Community, Freedom Academy, Fairfield, I-3 Academy, Jefferson County, Leeds, Legacy Prep, Magic City Acceptance Academy, Midfield, Tarrant, and Trussville City Schools. No matter what region you're in, if you're not familiar with your ATEM specialist, please reach out to me and I'll get you in contact with that person as soon as possible. Our fall lineup, as you see it here, starting with the ViewSonic board. And then as the list goes on, you can see what's to come, as well as our spring semester. If you have not had an opportunity or a chance to listen to Tim Talks, this is our ATM podcast series hosted by my colleague Angela Clark and myself, where we explore exciting developments happening in schools across the state. We also aim to raise awareness, not just about ATM, but other state initiatives as well that can bring value to your school, district, or your classroom. The latest 2 episodes was done with our former Teacher of the Year, Reggie White, and Dr. Tamara Tippett, both who happen to be employees of Birmingham City Schools. So if you get an opportunity, please check those episodes out. It can be found on Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, or Apple Podcasts. And without any further ado, I'd like to introduce my friend, a colleague, my son's former teacher, Mr. Nathaniel Harris. And Mr. Harris, I will stop sharing at this time and turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, I can.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. It is a pleasure to serve fellow educators. This is again, a pleasure of mine. I love technology and I love what it can bring to the classroom. Also to help make your job easier to lighten the loads. But again, my name is Nathaniel Harris, and this is I'm on 2 devices here. This is my 25th year in Birmingham City Schools, and I am glad and want to thank Mr. Allen for the opportunity to present to you all today. And a great friend, technology, great mind. Reach out to him if you need help in your schools. And today I'm going to be presenting on the view board. One of the first things I would like for you all to do, I'm going to go ahead and share screen. Again, I'm working on 2 devices, so I'm going to go to the iPad. And I'll talk as I'm setting this up, but I want you all to know that even though I have an agenda that I want to follow, I am also I'm open. If you have a question, we can pause the stop and we'll cover as much as we can. Again, today is about advanced features, and what I will do, I will go over. Mr. Allen says I can't share right now.
You can't share? Hold on.
Yeah.
You got the co-host, and I stop sharing. Let's see.
Yeah, my iPad is not co-host. So let's see if I turn it on real quick.
Oh, let me turn it on for you then. You said the iPad need to be the co-host too. Let me do that.
Or just turn on the share features.
All right. Gotcha. I see you. There you go.
All right. Are you able to see my screen?
It's coming on.
Okay.
It went out.
There we go. I think
there it is.
Okay. So it's going to be a side angle, you all. I'm going to change it just a tad. Okay, again, I'm going to be talking to you about the advanced features in the view board, but really quickly, just some of the basic things. This is an interactive board. And I know most of the times when we use it, it's basically a projector. And I want to help us with our appetites to some things that I think we could use to change that. So just to start, right, you may see in the corner, hopefully you can see the entire board, yes. So in the corner, you see here my profile pic. I'm signed in. I'm going to show you that as well. But I want to welcome my fellow educators. Just a quick run through on the board, and yours is going to look a little different. It's a newer board, but on each side of the board, there are 2 arrows, and they give you access to additional tools, right? So your toolbox is going to look a little different. It'll probably just pop out and line up right here. But for me, I have to tap on this tool. And for those of you who may need a timer and you're trying to go to YouTube to find a 2-minute timer, you can do it right here. There's a timer built into your board. Something about these tools, they sit on top of everything. So even if you take the pen tool and you begin to write, whenever you close the feature, it also erases everything that you, all of your annotations. Okay, but these tools are here on the side. In the front, I call the basic buttons, power, home, the back button, the settings, and then you have your volume, a couple USB ports. All right, just to start. And again, if I slow me down, if you have a question, I just want to hit these basic things really quickly, just to bring everybody who may not have attended the last session abreast of the things that are on the board. All right, so on this screen, when you come, again, if you sign in, your profile will appear on the top left. Coming across, you have notifications. You have settings. This is where you minimize, resize, and exit the My Whiteboard software. It depends on, this may look different, depends on the version of the software you have. Your software may need to be updated. If you look at this icon, on some of the boards, I'm noticing that there's a yellow cloud with the white pen. And then on some of the even older ones, there's a burgundy cloud with the word My inside of it. So if your software needs to be updated, let me know. I'll see if I can drop that file in the chat. I need to grab my flash drive, but it may look a little different based on the version of the software that you're running. Okay, continuing with the basic features. If you will look around on each side of the board, I'm going to switch this real quick. These arrows should appear on all 4 sides of your board if your software is up to date. That allows you to pull the tools to you wherever you are. So if you like them on the right side, you can pull them here, bottom, top, and left, okay? And while we're on the toolbars, you have your main toolbar, and then you have your navigation toolbar. All right, this is where you would go into present mode. This is also where if you copy something, you can paste it. This is the clipboard here. And then right here is where you would add a page, thumbnail, which allows you to see your slides. It's basically like a slideshow. This feature is not turned on for our district, but this is a closed caption feature, which is really awesome. If you have a microphone attached to your board, when you speak, the words will appear on the screen. And I can think many uses for that, especially when you have students in your class who may be speaking another language. But anyway, that's the caption feature. And maybe in your district, that feature is turned on. And again, it will pick up your voice and it will put the words on the screen for you. All right, so navigation toolbar, and then we'll come back to the main toolbar, okay? On the bottom of the screen here, these are your backgrounds, okay? I'm gonna tap on that. We're gonna spend some time in there, so I'll come back to that. Backgrounds, and then that's the participate mode. A lot of times, and I'm gonna go ahead and launch that now because I'm gonna go away from it, but a lot of times people don't see that mode or that feature, the icon. It probably has to be turned on in your settings, and I'll show you that really quickly. It takes a second to load, but this allows up to 6 students to be at the board at once. Now, of course, it will probably be crowded if you had 6, but what you could do is have 3. And then you can use this switch right here to flip, and then let the next 3 come up. And if it's a math problem or if they're writing something, they will each be able to use their own whiteboard with their pen or whatever color they use. And they do not have to have a pen. They can use their fingers to write on that. Again, this is the participate feature, right? Coming out. As I stated before, if you don't see this feature, you might want to go to settings and let me know if it's too small and you can't see it. And I'll try to zoom in on it. But in this corner, it's the settings. And when it comes down here, down at the bottom, you have a list of icons. And if the box is checked, that means it's going to appear. So if I uncheck that, the participate feature goes away.
They wanted you to, I'm sorry, Mr. Harris. Someone said it was a little too small for them to see. They were like,
okay, I'm going to zoom in or roll up a little bit. Pull back. Okay, so what I did, I went to settings here. And when you go to settings, right here, you don't have to move from this. This is the opening page of the setting, opening screen. Down here, these boxes are checked and all these appear in your tools. If your participate feature is not there, your software might need to be updated. If it is updated, that may not be checked. So you would check that box and it should appear. It should appear down here on the bottom left. Okay. Pull it back. Any questions about anything so far? All right. And I just added a few things to this just to use it. What I did, I went to, this was created in Canva, and I took a screenshot of it. All right. So, and that's one of the features I want to show today. All right, I took a screenshot. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pull my tools back to the bottom here. All right. If you are using any other software or any other website, one of the things that you can do so that you can access those things while using this software, I'm going to delete this. I'm going to put it back in here. Just put it in there. I'm going to delete it. We're going to show you how I got it. So right here on my toolbar, I'm going to go to this Windows icon. That's basically like annotate over desktop. It allows you to access any other window that you have open on your computer. So I'm going to go here. And what's really cool about this, it allows me to have access to the My Viewboard tools. If you look over here on the side. Hold on, looks like we're in a box that real quick. Is it, can everyone see that? So I'm in Google Chrome, but I still have access to the My Viewboard whiteboard tools. So if I wanted to write something, I can write it. And again, if you use these tools here on the side, not the My Viewboard tools, if you use these tools on the side, if you do any annotation, when you close that, they will go away. But if you use this, you can actually save that into your presentation. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to do a capture, right? So I'm going to use this feature right here. And you can do a full screen, or you can do a custom shape, or you can just use a rectangular shape. And when you release it, it's going to take a picture for you, and it's going to take it automatically back into the My Viewboard software. And once you have it there, you can manipulate it and do whatever you want to do with it. So if you have maybe a lot of the textbooks are now online. So if there's something that you wanted to pull from that textbook that you wanted to share with students, but you wanted to manipulate it. So I know sometimes in Savvis, the pages roll up in this little tight window, but you can go and you can grab the information and bring it right here into the My Viewboard software. And again, the tools are here for you to use and write on and manipulate. You may have, like you said, someone new to Viewboard. This pen is actually 2 tips. So the tip is the fine tip. And then the stylus is also a pen. If you want to adjust the fineness of the writing, use whichever end you want. Whichever end you want to adjust, you use that end to adjust it. So you tap on the pen, and you can adjust right here using that end. So now I've adjusted the tip of the stylus. Now I'm going to use the fine tip on the pen. Feel a little ridiculous here, but now I've adjusted the fine tip. Okay, go ahead and put that back. And so now I'm going to get rid of all of this. I use what I call lassoing. So I'm going to tap on this tool, the select tool, and I'm going to get rid of everything, including that picture icon. All right. Continue on. Again, let me go back again because I want us to make sure we get, anytime you have a website open, or if you have a PowerPoint open, or if you have something else open, and I'm out of the picture there, but as long as you can see the board, we're good. But anywhere, if you have anything open behind your My Viewboard software, you can always go here and just notice that the tools went over to the right, over to the side. And so I have access to these tools while I am here. Okay. And to go back, you just simply tap My. All right. I'm going to move on. So on here, I want to deal with saving a file, right? I want to deal with saving a file. So I've put some information in here, and I'm going to let you see the thumbnails that I have, right? I just put some things in here. Welcome educators. I just deleted that second screen. And each page we're going to do something with. So on this screen, we're going to do something with that. But I just want you to see that I put some information in there, but I've yet to save it. To save a file, on your main toolbar, you're going to go to this folder. You're going to tap on the disk with the pencil. Choose a location. I think because I'm on my network, is it making me jump through hoops, but I'm going to choose desktop. Once I choose my location, yours should be a little simpler than that, but once I choose my location, I'm going to tap down here and give the file a name. I'm going to call it. And just in case that is covering up what you're trying to see, you can just lift that a little bit. Tech Tuesday. And notice the file type is an OLF file. So I'm going to hit the check mark. I want you to notice here at the top that I now have a file name. So if I were to exit this, all right, so this is now on the Google browser, on Google Chrome browser. Let me minimize that zoom right there. And so I want you to notice on my board, I have an OLF file. It's called Tech Tuesday. And all I need to do is open that file and it'll take me. Yours should already be set up, but it's going to take me directly into the software. Okay, there it is. I was a little impatient, but it brings you back into the software. So once you have whatever you want in there, you can save that and you can always add to it. Every time you exit My Viewboard software, it's going to ask you if you want to save it. You can either exit or save and exit. Okay, I don't want to run out of time here. So the next thing I want to deal with is the magic box. Okay, I want to deal with the magic box. Let me pull back a little bit. All right, so the magic box is probably my favorite place to go. I don't want to get stuck in there, but this is where those many of the advanced features are. I tell you what, let me run down here and then I'll come back to the magic box. So we'll spend some time in there. All right, you have a built-in browser. And just in case you didn't know, if you tap on that browser, it's going to pull up a lot of resources that schools and teachers use frequently. So you see ABC Mouse, ABC Chemex, And so it has something for various grade levels on websites that you may use on a regular basis. And so these are pre-selected by ViewSonic. They put them in there so that they're there for you. But this is an embedded web browser. So it's almost like a one-stop shop. You're doing everything right here in the My Viewboard software. All right, this palm right here, this is what's called Infinity Canvas. So if you have something on the screen and you tap on the hand, I can manipulate the screen and I can move. This is the one screen, because you notice I had several slides in my thumbnails, but this is the screen that says welcome fellow educators. So I can move that over and begin to write on that same slide. Okay, that's called Infinity Canvas. And to reset it, I will tap on the hand again and I'll refresh and it'll bring it back to its normal size. Infinity Canvas. All right, this is the selector tool. So whenever you are manipulating things on this screen, you want to use the selector tool to do any type of manipulation. If you need to change the color, I want to change the color of this text, I will have the selector tool, tap on that. And here are the tools for this text that I could use to do various things with.
Okay. You had a question in the chat too, Mr. Harris. And it says, does the embedded browser use Clever, or is Clever on the embedded browser?
We can check it real quick. I'm pretty sure it would work. You might have to put because most school systems have a domain specific, but it'll be clever.com / whatever your school district's domain name is. Let's see. Did I see Clever in? I didn't see Clever.
Okay.
I don't see it.
And while you have questions, you have another question said, will it work with the Edge browser instead of Google?
Absolutely. So let me, you mean we'll work with the Edge browser? Like if I have something open in Edge, could I use that tools to go? Yes. So that just takes it back to the Windows.
Okay. And I think they meant like, they talking about the embed browser. So the embed browser is actually from ViewSonic, right?
Yes.
That's not, okay. That's a ViewSonic browser.
Yeah, it's not. If you notice, let me go back to it. If you notice when I go to it, oh, I was in there. Okay. If I go to the browser, it's not Google anything, but you have to go to Google search is added to it, but that's whatever browser, that's their browser. It looks like Google, but that's not. It's just theirs. All right. So that's the select tool. All right. The pen tool. Again, we've already adjusted the tip of the pens, and you can also change the colors. If we tap on it again, we adjust the tip, but there are also some features in here. I'm going to show you what it did. So I tried to use the pen tool, but I was using the tip of the pen, which only gave me access to AI. But if I use the stylus, it gave me access to the other pens. So if you use the tip, it does not give you access to these pens, right? The fine tip does not. You can't make any adjustments to change the color. But if you want to use the other pens that are built in, you have to use the stylus side. And you can have a paintbrush, a highlighter, a pointer, and this AI pen. Time is flying. This AI pen. So the AI pen is pretty cool because you can try to draw something and it'll try to figure out what you drew. I was trying to draw a tree, but apparently AI didn't agree. But what you can do with these, if you have something that you desire to pull into your presentation, you can grab that object and drag it to the screen. If you want like an actual picture of it, you can do a long press on it and it will actually take you to the internet. Let me see which version this is. Yeah. And then from here, you can grab an image and drag it into your presentation. All from selecting the AI pen and trying to draw an object. You're trying to figure out what you drew, and then it'll give you some ideas. All right. Okay, I'm still on the highlighter. Let me go back to the pen, and then let me go to the selector, and let me get rid of not that, but this. Okay. Oh, something else you can do. You notice when I was trying to get rid of the other picture, I grabbed my text instead. You can actually lock this, right? And so that whenever you're doing something, it won't move. All right, moving on. You have an eraser here. Most times you can just use your palm as your eraser. If it'll cooperate and it just right. Okay. Moving on to the math tools, not math tools, but shapes. So if you tap on the shapes, tap a second time, it gives you colors. It gives you the ability to fill, but it also gives you 3D shapes and lines and a grid. So you can switch to 3D, grab a shape, and just be reminded, if you grab a shape, once you grab that shape, if you don't switch your tool every time you touch the board, you're drawing another shape. So once you put the shape on the screen and you're ready to manipulate it, make sure you switch to the selector tool. Otherwise, you will continue to draw shapes. And while I'm here, I'm going to toss this in the trash. I'm going to go back to shapes, tap again, go back to 2D. I'm just going to I'm going to call this a counter. I was in a class today and some students, or yesterday, they were counting. And so I said, let me show that I share this with the teacher. I'm going to fill this. Now, if you all, at any time, if you ever use a Promethean board, they had a feature what's called drag a copy. That's also in here as well. So if you wanted your students to count whatever object it is, I just picked the circle. It can be coins. You will select the object. Okay, once you're there, go to the select tool. And in here, you have two that are very similar. This one is copy, but the one with the arrows on it, that's drag a copy. So I'm going to tap drag a copy. And what that does, it allows me to count. So now I can just, as many as I need. The original will stay there. And these are all copies. So I can get rid of these with a lasso, but this is drag a copy. And to turn it off, you simply touch it and tap on the drag a copy icon. And now it's a regular object. All right, and that's called drag a copy. Just grab this one. Any questions about that?
Just got a few wows. I say you just got a few wows and awesome. So no comments other than those right there.
Okay. Moving on down to the text tool. All right, this text tool is pretty cool because you can do handwriting recognition with the text tool. Notice I changed it to an A, right? To that A. Look, it looks eerily almost like it makes you think about Alabama. Well, y'all happy they won this weekend. Roll Tide. All right, but you can choose if you choose the handwriting recognition tool, when you write, little text. Okay, yeah. All right, so when you write, it's going to recognize. Now, I hope I'm not off the screen. Okay, y'all can still see that. Okay. All right, it's already adjusting the text, but then over here on your navigation toolbar, you tap right here, and it'll turn the handwriting into text. Again, it's handwriting recognition. It shares the same spot as the tool, as the text tool. So tap on it, and it changes to the letter A, and then Oh, really? I thought it said all, but apparently it saw Avenue. All right. So moving forward, these arrows are just undo and redo. Okay. Now let's dive into the magic box. Let's go to the magic box. In the magic box, if you have a webcam or a document camera, right in here, well, let me start at the top. You have sticky notes, right? You have math tools. And these are not just 2D math tools. These are actually interactive tools. So say, for instance, you were doing probability or computations and permutations or whatever. You can pull the die out and you can make copies of the die. You can manipulate and change the colors. And then on top of that, you can actually roll them. So these features, again, designed to make your board more interactive, not just for you, but also for your students as well. Again, in the math tools, you have a protractor, you have a compass, an actual compass, but then you have the compass for geometry. You have a calculator, right? And for those high school math teachers, you can pull in where you can do equations and things of that nature right here. This is an input panel. So you can put that in there and it'll convert that into an equation. Magic box, math tools. You have a stopwatch, you have a timer. And actually, if you're teaching time, you have an analog clock that's in here.
We have a science teacher who would like to know, was that graph interactive as well?
Which graph?
I guess pull those tools back up. I think that's what she must have saw.
This one? Is it the Cartesian plane or the coordinate grid?
I wasn't sure. She just asked, what's that science here? Is the graph interactive?
Let me see, because that looked like. Is this what she meant?
She said she thought she saw one. She made it. Okay, so maybe not.
Okay. But in here, this coordinate grid is, well, you can draw lines on it. You can extend it to the X and Y axis. So these are actual math tools. All right, closing that out. Ruler. Go back. Math tool, tap on the ruler. Back into the screen for your straight edges and such. You can reduce the length. All right. So these are all interactive tools, pretty cool. I guess one of my kind of favorites is the spotlight tool. So you can highlight a certain thing. You can change the opacity, the opaqueness, or the darkness of what's seen in the background so that you can really focus on. I should be able to open this up. Pinch. But you can manipulate the size of the circle and also the darkness of it. All right, any questions about the math tools? All right next to that, you have a webcam. I have a couple cameras connected to this board, so I'm just going to check on the webcam real quick. See my office. Okay. But if you have a document camera, that's really cool because you can pull images, you can make images, or you can show whatever it is that you're trying to show to students, but you can also take a picture of it and pull it into the My Whiteboard software, and then you can manipulate that document and do whatever you want to do with it. That's the webcam. So there are all types of resources. I'm signed into my account, and that's something that I mentioned earlier. And so I have access. We have an entity account, which like basically is a premium account, full access to everything. So there are so many different resources that are in here. You have gifts in here. You have images. You can do it by subject matter, by languages, so on and so forth. But you can choose these items and drag them into your presentation. And again, that's in the magic box. And that was, I call it their parakeet, or the exotic bird. Here's a cool feature that a lot of teachers, especially lower grade teachers, they really like this. YouTube. Now, what I like about this is that these YouTube videos have been vetted. They do not have commercials. So I'm going to search for my keyboards here. Just imagine whatever videos you use, you can take those videos, you can grab them and just drag them into the software. All right. It says sometimes it will tell you to watch the video on YouTube, but for the most part, the one that you pull in. Okay. I wonder if it's off or something. But you can pull the videos in and you can actually save them. And when you come back to that file, again, this is called Tech Tuesday. When you come back to that file, then they're all telling me that. So something must be going on in the Birmingham City right now. But anyway, you can pull those videos in there and you can add that to that file. And so whenever you open that file, that video will be there for you to watch. Okay, exit that. We're back in the magic box here. And they have made some updates. Let's see if the images are working now. Okay, so they may be still updating that, but generally or normally you can go to the images here. And I was with a teacher and we did the drag a copy earlier and they wanted to know how they can do money. And so you can go and pull images of US coins, drag them into your presentation and make them a drag a copy feature or use the drag a copy feature so the kids can come and count nickels or count pennies or count dimes or quarters. So they may be updating the software right now, but generally here you can go in and search and it'll pull images of whatever it is that you're looking for.
Mr. Harris, I apologize. You have someone to know about the parakeet and look at the reading and writing. Is that a component, a part of the parakeet, an exotic bird that you mentioned?
Reading and writing?
Yes, sir.
So this is what comes up when you hit reading and writing. Now, I'm going to show you something else because I didn't spend much time on the background. So I'm going to go back to that. But this is what you get when you go to reading and writing. Let's go to math. Now let's do another one. Let's go sun rays. Okay, let's see. Mammals, I see birds. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to show you something else that they might like because there's some graphic organizers that you can use as backgrounds. So let me come out, go back to the magic box. So these last two, or these last three, but I'm going to focus on these last two right here. And I think I want to save that for last. So let me go to backgrounds now. All right. And if I had followed my presentation, it would have kept me on track a little bit. All right. We're not ready for that yet. So what I'm going to do, this feature right here, and I know I'll over it a little bit. This is the background feature. Let me zoom in. That's really quick so y'all can see that. Okay. So this is the background feature, right? And that feature allows you to choose different backgrounds. And that's the one I wanted to show you all as far as the graphic relates to the graphic organizers. So what I'm going to do real quick, I want to go here. Now they have some pre-selected backgrounds that they've already put in there for you to just grab readily or access easily. And so to add a background, you simply, I'm going to my favorite, geography. You select it. And if you choose apply to all pages, every time you make another page or copy another page or duplicate a page or add a new page, it's going to give you another 7 continents background. So if you just want one for that page, you select this page. And so now my background is going from blue to the 7 continents. And if I wanted to just get a color, same thing. I'm going to apply it to this page only. I'm going to go back to the backgrounds, and I'm signed in. So what I want to do now is show you, those are the ones that we had before. So again, wherever you see that parakeet or the exotic bird, that's the ViewSonic original. That means there are additional backgrounds. And here where you can get a whole bunch of backgrounds by grade level, by subject matter. So let's see. Oh, that's English language. But over here, subject matter. So let's go to lines. So if you need a Cartesian plane or a coordinate grid, you can select one that you like. That one has 10 on it. Let's go with this purple. I'm going to apply it to this page. So now I have the coordinate grid in my background. Okay. Backgrounds. Exotic bird. Let's choose another arts and humanities. And so if you had like holidays or something like that coming up, which we are coming up, approaching holidays. Now I want you to notice that all of these has the entity account on them. That means I'm signed into my account. I'm going to show you what happens if you do not have an entity account. So I'm going to sign myself out. And I want you to notice that my presentation, it went away because I was signed in. But I'm going to go to the backgrounds. And I'm going to go back to the exotic bird. And all you can see is those pre-selected ones. All right. Doesn't matter what I search. All I get is the pre-selected ones. And those are the same ones that are right here. So all the ones when I went to the parrot, to the exotic bird or the parrot, this is all you're going to get when you go there, unless you have an account where you're signed in, an entity account. So I'm going to sign back in. And while I'm here, let me go ahead and open this up. So I'm going to go back to that screen with the companion app. All right, it's going to sign me back in. I do want to stay signed in. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to open that file that I created. For those who are interested, you want to go ahead, and I'm not sure, go ahead and get the app. There's a companion app. And what I did, and it was off the screen. So down in this corner, this is where you would sign in. So what I did, I have the companion app, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. It's actually what it looks like right here. But if you, whichever device you have, you can scan that QR code to go to whatever store, App Store or Google Play Store to get that. But on your phone, it's like the one with the cell phone in it and the cloud, yellow cloud companion. Okay. But if you scan the QR code, it'll take you there. All right, any questions about that? Can we go ahead and move on to the next one?
No questions right now.
Okay. All right. So, pop quiz. What I need you all to do, I'm going to go to, I want you all to join, right, my session. So I'm going to start a pop quiz. I'm going back to the magic box. This is the feature right here. Now, that feature does require you to be signed in. It does not require an entity account, but you have to be signed in to use pop quiz. And it's the one with the ABC. Zoom in on that for you all real quickly. So this is the pop quiz feature that we're about to use right now. So I'm going to start my session, and I'm going to ask you all to join and answer a question for me. And what I want to do, I will zoom back out. So what I'm going to do, because I already have a question created, I'm going to turn the question off. There we go. Come on. All right. And what you can do with this, let me just pull this on down. Okay. There we go. So here is your question. What is the verb in this sentence? So what I want you to do, scan that QR code. I want you to think of how you could use this in the classroom. I have some ideas in my head, suggestions that I've made to teachers, but I want you to join my session. You're going to scan that QR code. You're going to put your information in, and it's going to allow you to join my session. I'm going to wait about 30 more seconds to give as many people as possible so that we don't run out of time. And what's going to happen, it's going to give you a whiteboard. You're going to go in there and you're going to answer the question. The question is, what is the verb in this sentence? The actual sentence that I wrote. What's the verb in the sentence? Then I'm going to use another feature to show you the answer. All right. You see someone coming in right there? Carol, I see you're in. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and remove the QR code. All right, Bree. All right, come on in, come on in. Wait for a few more people to answer. Neosha. Thank you, thank you. Joni or Johnny. Paul, Brooke, okay. Come on. Courtney. Come on, Deshaun, Nikki, come on in. That's right, that's right, that's right. Sally, come on, come on. All right, so just imagine in your classroom, and this is an opportunity to do a formative assessment. I gave an answer away. You can use it as a formative assessment. You may be working on a skill or something. You can do a quick check with your students. And so each student, and also admonish them or ensure that they put their real name in when they put their name there so you know who they are. And you can go and you can check. And what you do, you make sure everyone has answered so they don't go back and say, oh, and look at the other people's answers. And say, for instance, someone made a mistake. I see Osha answered twice. She didn't finish, and so she came back in to see what she got the second time. Good job. And she used a text box. Awesome. Okay, but you can flip these back over. Now, I'm going to use another feature to show you the correct answer. I'm not going to tell you if it's right or wrong. So I'm going to show you this feature twice. I'm going to select this. All right, I'm going to zoom in on this icon. If you look at the tools, when I selected the text, the book with the speaker on it, that's called Immersive Reader, and you've probably seen it at different locations. But this is really cool because I'm going to turn this on. It's going to take me away from that screen. And now you can actually have it to read.
What's the verb in this sentence?
All right, so it'll read it for you. Okay, you can adjust the speed. You can adjust the voice, male or female. But the cool part, I think the cool part to me is what you can do over here. So right here, you can manipulate the text, right? Change the color and all this stuff and the size. Right here, this is a game changer, especially if you have students who speak another language. So for students who need help, this is a quick way to share information with them. And since we have a large population of Spanish-speaking students, they've actually improved this because originally they just had Spanish from Spain, but now they have Spanish Latin America, Spanish Mexico. So I'm going to choose Spanish Mexico. All right. And it asks you, do you want to translate by word or by document? I'm going to translate the entire document. And now I'm going to have it to read.
One is not sure.
All right.
That one is not sure.
And so the students can respond based on that. They can understand what you're saying. I'm going to switch it back to English. I went too far. English, United States. Okay. Now, I asked the question, what is the verb in this sentence? And so there's a feature right here that allows you to identify the parts of speech. So let's find our answer. And if you would notice that verbs are highlighted red. Can y'all see that? Do I need to zoom in? So verbs are highlighted in red. Also over here, you can turn on the other parts of speech. Adjectives, adverbs, and nouns. And then you can actually have it to show the labels. So let me exit that real quick so you can see. So it labeled the verb and the nouns in the sentence. There are no adjectives or adverbs. Another cool feature here. You can turn on for lower grades, you can turn on, I'm going to turn all these off for now. And you can turn on syllables. And so it'll break the words down into syllables. Okay. But let me go back. And I want to see, I'm going to clear this. Oh, let me see who made it 100. All these 100s. Okay. Uh-oh, we got to repeat. But this, I was in a class today and I saw a misunderstanding on a math problem, and it was consistent with some of the students. And I just let the teacher know that what I saw. But this is a quick way to do a formative assessment. Right, I'm going to refresh this. Nope. All right, so do me a favor really quickly. If I can get a couple people to answer real quick, give me an idea, one way you could use this in your class really quickly. We're running out of time.
Someone said exit ticket.
Okay, absolutely. Exit ticket. I was hoping someone would do it on the pop quiz.
Bell. Oh, I'm sorry. They doing it in the chat. They got bell.
That's fine. That's fine.
It said checking for understanding lesson, quick check, letter formation, review games.
Absolutely. All right. And so that we don't run out of time, I'm going to go ahead and go to the next. Well, I got an answer to right at the end. All right. So what I want you to do now, this is the same. This is the QR code. And what I did, I got it from over here. It's the same thing, right? You would join my session. But I want you to do this time that you're already in my session. I want you to take a picture or something of a document or paper, and I want you to throw it to me. What throw looks like, all right? On that whiteboard that you got when you join my session, there's a little airplane icon. That is the throw feature. So let me put it up on the board so you can see what it looks like. Right, this airplane icon. So in that, all right, here comes the notifications. All right. Okay, they're coming right out. Let me see. Okay, let's see. All right. All right. So in the throw feature, Lollipop quiz. notifications coming. Let me go to fresh page here. This page. All right. And they keep coming up it keeps coming up under the pop quiz. But what happens is when you throw something, it actually allows you, it keeps going back to this for some reason. I'm not sure why. But throw allows you to get an object. So if you, say for instance, you didn't have a document camera, or you want to show your students something really quickly, a spider was crawling on the floor, and I'm just that type of person. I would take a picture of it and throw it to the screen, right? So you can do that here. And I am not sure why it's not allowing me, because it keeps taking me back to pop quiz. Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure why that is happening. Yeah. That's really weird. Okay.
While Mr. Harris is doing that, yes, the recording will be shared with everyone on tomorrow.
Okay, so I see the pictures. Let me see if it'll let me do it. Yeah, so it's still not cooperating. Because normally you just tap on it and it'll open up. It's technology.
Of course. It wouldn't be right if we didn't get a glitch.
There we go. So your images came. Now you can see all of your images here, and I could just pull them into the presentation. And I like to show student work.
So once they come in, Mr. Harris, are you able to tell who submitted those once it's on the board?
If they use their names, yes. So right there, you see how I was saying, oh, talking once it comes up here, when it's up here, it does not. But when they send it to me.
Okay. And so
when they send it to me, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I apologize. Someone also asked, can the students use their Chromebooks for this?
Yes, because what they can do, even though you can scan it and do it, they can also go to the website. There's a website connected to your account. But again, you have to be signed in. You have to be signed in for them to connect to your account. All right, so it is 4:45, and I knew I would probably run out of time or a little bit over time. But I want to thank you for your attention. I hope this has been helpful. But again, the interactive whiteboard, the viewboard itself is great. But what the My Whiteboard software brings to the table is the ability to make it even more interactive. And again, that's the time that we're in. Students, their attention span is not very long. So as much as you can engage them, it will be more helpful, more beneficial to you and them. So just hopefully something was said today or shared to help you along your way. I want y'all to have a wonderful rest of the year. And Mr. Allen, it's back in your hands.
Well, Mr. Harris, once again, I want to say thank you for an excellent presentation. You're getting a lot of kudos in the chat. Yes, this presentation will be shared with you all. And again, Mr. Harris, I want to say thank you so much. We'll stick around for a few minutes for those who may have questions. Mr. Harris, is that okay with you?
Yes, and if anyone, if they are at their boards, if they need the software, I'm going to see if I can put that in the chat.
Yeah, if you send that to me, I will put it in the email tomorrow too.
We'll do it right now.
Okay.